So, we've made it to race week. Yay! This will be my last update video, taking us into race day. Today's Monday. I ran Saturday. I got to have Sunday as a rest day, which was amazing. Today was kind of a last push day. I did strength training at the gym, and then I did a run with some short little speed intervals. I have Tuesday and Wednesday as rest days, which Wednesday I actually teach yoga for runners. So I'll get to do that before we get on a flight. So that's actually really perfect. Thursday, the day before the race, I will go out for probably like a 2.5 to 3 mile shakeout run. Those shakeout runs, some people really like. I'm one of those people. Some people really like to have a rest day the day before a race. I like those shakeout runs for multiple reasons. One is for this. So mentally, it kind of just helps get the cobwebs out. So, your mind is a little restless and you're anxious maybe thinking about the race. So a shakeout run is really helpful for that. It's really good mind clearing. Not only that, it will shake out the legs, especially after flying across the country. Whether you're flying or not, you probably had to sit in a car to drive somewhere. So we have flights and a drive to get to where we're staying for the race. So Thursday, I'll actually get to get out on the race course again and do a little bit on the very last piece, which is what I did when we were there a few weeks ago. So it's a section I've already seen, but I'll go do my shakeout run there. And then Friday morning, 6 a.m., the fun begins. I cannot tell you how excited I am. I am like mentally, physically, emotionally, all of it, 100% in to this event. So that hasn't happened to me for several years. Lots of things have gone on in the last few years, and I finally feel like I'm like in my groove. So I'm really hopeful that that means good things. But I wanted to go through a bunch of stuff that I'm taking, what I'm wearing, some of the gear I'm carrying. I don't have everything in front of me because my husband is very efficient and he's already packed some of my stuff. So some of it I'll just tell you, and I can't show you, but I can show you some of it. First off, what I'm wearing. I have been wearing these Lululemon trail shoes, which I wasn't sure when I first started wearing them how they were going to be. They're awesome. So, and I've worn them on trails here, trails in Montana, trails down on the Pinhoti in southern Alabama. They've been great. So I've got 2 pair of these, and then I have another pair of trail shoes that are from VJ Shoes. That's a shoe that I typically wear for my Spartan races and things like that. So if these start to bother me for any reason, I know I can go back to those VJ trail shoes because I've worn them in multiple races. So I've got 2 pair of these, a pair of the VJs. There are a lot of water crossings in this race, so my crew will have my other shoes just in case I decide like, hey, I'm tired of running in wet feet, having wet shoes. So I'll change out shoes and socks, just depending on how I feel. I'll have them there just in case. And then going up from there, we have socks. I always run in Injinji toe socks. Always, always, always. The toe socks have eliminated blisters for me. I don't get blisters with them. These happen to be the Ultra Run Injinjis, so they have extra padding, so they're a little thicker. And I've got a few pair of these. Obviously, my crew will have with them, again, in case I want to change. So that's what those are. Going up from there is shorts. Every piece of my apparel is Lululemon, and they actually were also kind enough to outfit my crew. So we will all be matching shorts and shirt colors while we're out there, which I really wanted a cohesive color that was energetic, but also that I'd be able to spot, them, and they'd be able to spot me coming. I didn't want a color that everyone would be wearing. So you'll see in a second the shirt color that I chose for that reason. So the shorts, I have been running in these the entire training cycle. I love them. They have caused me 0 issues, so they're going to be what I wear at the race. I'm also taking a pair, I didn't bring them up here, a pair of capri tights, so crop length tights for the evening in case I get cool. It could be in the 50s in the evening when it gets dark, so if I get cool, I may change into those tights. But these are the Wonder Train. This is the 6-inch length. They have pockets and they have a lot of compression. So that is really comfortable for me. My muscles like that, and I just really like to have compression in my shorts. And then from there, we have got the sports bra. Again, it's Lululemon. This is the Energy Bra. This is actually, again, the one I always wear. I try to stick with what I know, right? On race day, you don't want to go with something new. So this is the Energy Bra. That's what I will wear. Then I've got my tank, and this is the color I chose for my crew. We're doing Kelly Green just because I thought it was fun and a little more unique than some of the other colors. So this is the Swiftly Tech tank, but you'll notice it's a little shorter. It's they call it the race length, so I like it because it hits right at your waistband. I don't have a bunch of extra material and all that kind of stuff. And again, I've run in it. It's super comfortable. For the evening, if I get a little cooler, I can switch over to this short sleeve shirt. This is their trail. Well, I don't remember what the rest of the name is, but it's a trail shirt. And it actually has short sleeve, but they're a little bit longer, which I love because I don't love short sleeve women's shirts on me because my arms are not small. And they tend to either they're supposed to be here, they ride up to here on me, and then I've got chafing issues. So these short sleeves are actually just a little bit longer. So then I shouldn't have that problem with them rolling up and getting chafing and all that kind of stuff. So this is for if I get cooler, I can just slip it over on top of my tank top. Oh, I did bring the tights over. So these are, if it gets cooler in the evening, it's just a crop length. This is the Fast and Free tight. It actually has slightly more compression than the Wonder Train shorts do. So as far as compression goes, the Fast and Free is their most compressive line. So that's what I have for the evening. With that, I have a very light running jacket that will be in my pack during the entire race. So if I get cool, it's actually something they require us to have anyway. So a light jacket. I know I probably won't need these, but I have gloves because you're in the mountains and you never know what could happen. So these will be in my pack also for just in case. I have a very lightweight, this thing you could like fold up and put in a pocket, hat. And this hat has flaps on it, and that is because I'm going to be very exposed as far as the sun. So I wanted to make sure I gave myself enough protection so that I'm not getting sunburned. This is from Buff brand. And I wore it in a race out in Arizona, and I really liked it. And again, it's light and airy, so that was perfect for the race. And then from there, I think that's all on the apparel. The gear, this is the same pack I've been wearing the entire race cycle. So it's my Nathan pack, and got my bladder. I'm actually carrying 2 extra bladders and 2 extra hoses because you never know. You could spring a leak in your bladder. Anything could happen. So it also allows my crew to totally fill up a new pack, and I can just switch it out when I come in so that I don't have to wait for them to refill my pack that I have on. They can just change out the bladders. My plan is to be in and out of aid stations and crew spots very, very quickly. I don't want to waste a lot of time waiting around, having things changed out. I'll basically be dumping out my trash and refilling what I used and getting extra, fluids and stuff and getting out of there. That is my plan. And then in the front pocket of that, I'll have a collapsible bottle, which I'll put my electrolytes in, which is Scratch. You'll notice I use a lot of Scratch products. Everyone has to experiment with what works for them, and Scratch has never caused me, knock on wood, never caused me any issues as far as my stomach. It's very easy to digest. No problems whatsoever. So I stick with what I know, and Scratch is what I know. So that will go in my bottle, and I will have some little Ziploc bags to replenish my Scratch in that bottle because I'll just have water in my bladder for my pack. In addition to that, trekking poles, we've talked about that in my prep. I've used them quite a bit, and I will have to have them at the race. This race just has 23,000 feet of elevation gain. And we have at least 3 really big steep climbs. So the poles help to take some pressure off your legs, let you use your arms a little more, so it saves your legs. It also is really helpful for the technical downhills. So think about it, I always tell everybody it kind of like gives you the benefit of a dog. So like we have 2 legs, so we're not as stable, but a dog's got 4. They can take off down some of those technical terrains with no issue, and that's why they've got better balance and stability. So if you've got those poles helping us down, I should be able should be able to handle that terrain better having the poles in my hands. The thing you have to watch with the poles that I've noticed for me is that I tend to not eat and drink as much when I have the poles in my hands. So I'm going to actually set an alarm when I go out there for every hour to make sure I'm taking in calories. Otherwise, you can get yourself in a whole lot of trouble. Speaking of calories, so the easy fuel I have is Scratch Chews. This flavor, this is the sour cherry. It actually has caffeine in it, which is great. The Scratch energy bars. This is the cherry and pistachio, which is my favorite. Again, super easy to digest. And then I like these really simple 100-calorie soft granola bars. They're really great, especially when you don't want to chew a lot because they're kind of soft and easy. 100 calories. You can eat that all at one time. The Scratch bars I usually actually break up into pieces and I don't eat them all at once. So those are good. In addition to these things, which I have used on every single run, my crew will have things like Pringles. I love Pringles for, again, easy to chew. The salt content. We'll do boiled potatoes with sea salt, which they have at most of the aid stations. We do tortillas with turkey and cheese and bacon. So again, getting in some protein, some carbs, things that are simple to digest. And then in the evening, we usually have things like chicken noodle soup or ramen noodles. Grilled cheese is really popular and really good. Cheese quesadillas. Warm food at night, even if it's not super cold, is really, really comforting. And your stomach typically handles it pretty well when you start getting fatigued. So with that, with the eating and the fact that you're going to be out there for so long, I always have, I may not have these on me, but my crew will have, brushing your teeth in the middle of the night. It's amazing how much that can bring you to life. In the middle of the night or like right when the sun starts to come up the following morning, brushing your teeth is like the most wonderful feeling in the world for whatever reason. And washing your face. That's something my husband is always harping on. You know, here, wash your face, brush your teeth. And it really does. It's like refreshing and get you to almost wake yourself back up. And then some other things. I've got squirrel's nut butter. It's what I use for anti-chafe. That will go everywhere. Feet, around where your sports bra is, around where my pack might touch. And then I will have a small container of this that I'll carry with me in my pack in case I need to reapply while I'm out there before I get to my crew. This little charger I will have in my pack so that I have my phone will stay charged. So I don't want to be out there without that. And then we got these little Garmin InReach. This is the mini. So this is so that they can communicate with me. My crew can communicate with me even when there's no cell service. So they'll be able to send me messages on here through here. There's an app actually on your phone that links to this, and I can use that app to send them messages as well because they have one of these too. So we can send messages back and forth no matter if we have cell service or not. The race also requires you to wear one of their own trackers. So I'll have this and then I'll have the race tracker probably attached to my pack up high somewhere. I'm sure that's a safety issue. That's why they do that. The other thing I will have that I don't have here with me because it's already packed up, I have a waist light. I really prefer, I have the Ultra Aspire waist light. I really prefer to have the light at my waist on trails because it's closer to the trail, so obviously you can see what's down there a little better. Not only that, when you've got a headlamp on for a long period of time, it can cause kind of a tunnel vision effect. So, you know, having the waist light to me is really super helpful. Not only that, you get tired having that headlamp on your head for so long. I'm hoping that the sunlight is like it was when we were there a few weeks ago, and it was light till 10 p.m. and the sun came back up at 5, maybe a little before 5 a.m. So, and we should have almost a full moon. So I think the evening is actually going to be fairly light, which is wonderful. I love that. The other thing, we have to carry an emergency blanket, which is just one of the thin like Mylar blankets, a first aid kit, which my husband has already pieced together a little first aid kit for me and my pacer, and like got it nice and tight and small so we can put it in our packs and hopefully not need them. And bear spray. So our friends that have their place out there got us some smaller bear spray canisters to carry with us. There has been a grizzly sighting nearby, near the town that we're starting in. So it's possible that we see a bear or so out there. There's obviously there's all kinds of animals out there. It's in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. I've seen lots of pictures and videos of mountain goats, so I'm excited actually to see those guys. Hoping we don't really see the grizzly. That would be nice to not see him. I like for him to kind of stay away, mind his own business. Other than that, I think that is all that I will have with me. There won't be a lot of updating from my crew because, again, cell service is almost non-existent, but they have live tracking, which I'm going to post on my Facebook and Instagram. So if you follow me, you'll be able to get that live tracking and see how I'm doing. We have 36 hours to complete the 100 miles. We start Friday at 6 a.m. So, I really hope that I take a lot less than 36 hours. But if I take 36 hours, that's okay. As long as I finish before that cutoff, I'm going to be thrilled. And I am just super excited to get this adventure started. My crew, I can't tell you how thankful I am for them, and the fact that I get to carry one of my best friends with me to be a pacer. She's going to run almost 50 miles with me. So she's starting out at I think 48, somewhere around there, and staying with me till 95. And then my husband's going to take me in the last 5 miles. So the fact that I get to get out there and share such a beautiful place with my friends, my husband, I'm just super excited about that. So I think we're ready to roll. And I thank you so much for following along in this journey, and I cannot wait to share the race with you when we get out there.